Hi everyone, I thought I'd take you for a bit of a tour around my garden. So I have a big veggie patch. This is my front gate, and when you come in, this is what we see. So I like to grow lots and lots of different types of vegetables, and I've got a few fruit trees too. So as you come in, we have broccolini growing. So these plants just look like broccoli plants, but as you can see from the top, they start sprouting little pieces that you just pick, and they just keep regrowing as well. So these are nice, just steamed or stir fried. So you can use both wet and dry methods of cooking for broccolini. So when we've been talking about moist and then also dry methods of cooking, so frying being dry, steaming being a wet method because it uses water and moisture. So over here we have parsley. There's lots of positions around the garden where there's lots of parsley. Some potatoes. This is actually a curry leaf plant that I'm waiting for it to grow. So use the curry leaves in curries and making dal and things. We've got chilies starting to come through. Passion fruit up on the wall. Should be flowering sometime soon. Over this side, this is where I just have my little seedlings growing. So I've got some bean plants. These ones down here are little zucchinis that will plant soon. Little tomato plants that are just starting to sprout. I've got some onions, some beetroot, some basil starting. So lots of different little plants. Over here, this is where my potatoes are. So this whole patch has been potatoes. I dug up some the other day, and I just dug up a few now so you can see. So this is the plant here. So you can see these green leaves, and underneath the potatoes grow under the ground. So if you scratch around underneath the ground, you're going to see some potatoes come up, and there's two different varieties here. That's why they're different coloured skins. So potatoes are a great versatile vegetable because we can cook them moist method, like boiling, and then we can also roast them. So that's a dry method of cooking in the oven and get different effects as well. So back over here, we've got lots of rainbow chard. So you've probably heard of silver beet, but you can see why they probably call it rainbow chard. We've got yellow stalks, pink stalks, red stalks, white stalks, so all colours of the rainbow almost. And this is great to just stir fry or blanch, a little bit of water in a pot. I've got some more broccolini growing here, and then over here I've got a little cabbage starting. So you can see some holes in your cabbage leaves here. That's caused from a cabbage moth. And if I have a little look, it's a snail. Snails might be doing that too. But we often see little green grubs. I can't find one right now, but if I find one on our little walk around, I'll show you. And that's why I grow all these yellow flowers, which are calendula, because they are really good for keeping these cabbage moths or the white moths away. So in my little round section here, my little roundabout, I have lots of leafy greens and herbs. So there's coriander growing here at the moment. Some of it's about to go to seed, but there's lots of little new plants coming through, which is great because then you have a constant supply. And there's a lettuce there. This is all my rocket that's starting to go to seed. So these are the leaves here that you would pick and pop in your salads, and it's got a really lovely peppery flavour to it. And then obviously I've got, this is actually a little lemon tree growing, but I have another one over here which has got a lemon on it at the moment ready, and then some more coming through. This is a blueberry plant. I don't know if you've ever seen blueberries growing, but those little flowers there should then become blueberries. There's a little flower there. And I often have a few flowers because I like flowers growing in my garden. This is another patch full of potato plants, and I also mulched it with pea straw. So all these little pea plants will come up, which you can actually pick and eat these as salads. So I'm going to do that with the Year 7/8 this week. We're going to be making rice paper rolls and we're going to put some pea shoots in it. So again, lots more silver beet, and these tall plants at the back are actually broad beans. So broad beans, my children just love eating them raw, but they are nice if you cook them up, like maybe a little stir fry, or to just cook them in some water. I'll show you what they look like. This is actually a broad bean. So if I open it up, inside are these beans. My kids love these. So you can see the side there. And you can just eat them raw. They also, when you cook them, if you boil them, this outside bit goes like a grey colour, but inside is the actual bean. And that is so sweet and tender. But you can eat the whole thing. And delicious. I'm going to have some sweet pea flowers coming up the arbor over here. And this is going to be my pea patch. So they're all different size plants according to when I planted them. And I'll tend to do that on purpose because I want a constant crop of peas coming through. So they'll still be probably at least a month away before they're ready. Lots of parsley up the background. And there's some sugar snap peas growing up the little fence there. This is a nectarine tree. So you can see the small little nectarines starting to form. So they're usually ready just before Christmas or just after. This is where I have my cauliflowers. So I need to pull those out soon. And then more broad beans at the back because my kids just absolutely love them. And these are more broccoli or broccolini that I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with that. You can see here, there's more broccolini ready to pick. And over here, I just noticed, this is probably just about ready. This is an Italian form of a cauliflower. So that will be interesting to pick and try it out. So I like growing unusual varieties often as well. So there's a couple of these are carrots in here. Let's pull one out and see if they're ready. I'm not successful at growing carrots, but we need to work out how to grow them nice and long. I think it's to do with the soil needing to be looser, so I have to work on that one a little bit. A few more pea plants. Let's see what these are going to be. I think these are going to be cabbages. Yeah, so you can have a pretty garden as well as an edible garden. And I'm going to put some tomatoes in soon coming through. This is actually thyme, this herb. I've been using this a bit cooking. I steamed some potatoes today actually for lunch with some thyme. It was so delicious. And cooked up the beetroot. Beetroot's another one that you can use wet or dry cooking methods. I boiled the beetroot today, but you can also roast it, which is a dry cooking method. And then I have some fruit trees growing down over there, but they're not kind of ready yet. So yeah, I thought I'd just take you for a bit of a tour around and see what you can grow and what cooking methods you can use just out of your yard and where you get your produce from. So enjoy!